And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Los Angeles Rams and the Minnesota Vikings. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
The Rams take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Cut! 180!
Now a first down throw. Gone. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
First down, Rams.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 44-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to have a third down.
Third down.
Here we go. 20. 54. Record. Hey, let's go. Go, Brown.
Out of the gun. Goff. This is caught. It's Cooks. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to the ground game here. Gurley. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
2 for 66.
Throwing on third. Goff. It's complete. This is Todd Gurley. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 24-yard line. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Right, it appeared to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
General West.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
And it's third down.
Now this now play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Goff. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. picked off by Mike Hughes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Remember, of course, he threw 5 interceptions in that loss last week. Opening drive, same result here.
But it's hard to believe that you can throw 5 in the previous week and start out your very next game the exact same way. He's going to need a lot of support on his own sideline to make sure he gets really fully mentally into this one.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Check 43.
First carry now for Alexander Madison. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Check wide. Here we go, let's bring it.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
A first down throw for Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 42-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Back to the ground, Cook. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44.
Hey, 4-1 Mike. Ringo. We want it. Come to my world. Shift. Lucky 50. 2. Where's the hot?
Cousins to throw it. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, L.A. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kicks away following that fumble return. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
They're going to need some therapy after this. Hatch it. Hey, flipper. Hey, can. Gun. Motion. 300. Right there. 54, right there.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
I'm about to take you to school. 6 guys. Two. Hey, wide. Out. Check 24.
On play action, Cousins. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
We taking wins home. Check. Through. He's coming. We got double up. Switch. He's checking.
Now before down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Watch the screen. Tight dog. Check 9. Black. He's checking crack. Quaker Omaha.
Here's Cousins. Nearly picked. Almost intercepted, but he couldn't hang on, and it's 3rd down.
Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and
10. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Get in the way. Check safety. Watch the safety creep.
They go play action. Cousins. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Trying anchor in punt formation.
He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Goff. Trying to lay one up deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
Watch out. Who draw 4th?
On first down, it's Gurley. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. And a little floater there is incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And now it's third down. Well, you got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he will have a first down as they get to the ground at the 37. And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here.
Let's go. Let's go.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Hey, check.
On 2nd and 7, Goff. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Kill. Switch. Hey, can. 6-6, bullet hot. Hey, yellow. Wait, they're hot.
Following the interception, Cousins going deep for Diggs. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And an alley to run. And he will score. Touchdown, LA. He goes 102 yards from one end zone to the other. And the Rams have taken the lead.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach, his head coach, to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Hey, Orbit. 41's coming. 41's a mic. Got one. I got one. Hey, Steamer.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Give them 22 yards, and that's also where they snapped it from, the 22. Cousins on 1st down. And Diggs has it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Cousins gives way to Cook. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Corey Littleton there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Pull it together. Shift. Lucky 50. Yellow. Protein.
They just do get the play off. Now Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 20-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Cousins now 7 of 10 here in this 1st half, and he's got a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Hey, we're good. All right, now,
here's Madison running on 1st down. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
At the 1-yard line.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7.
That's it. That's it. Big hit.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Irv Smith Jr., his first touchdown on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And oh, he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
19 yards there on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Goff going to hand it to Gurley. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd.
From the 41, Goff. They'll find Everett there, complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Goff. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
Here we go, tonight. 180. 154.
On the counter, Gurley. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
20.
It's a gain of 8.
On 2nd and 2, Goff. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Incomplete. Xavier Rhodes on the coverage.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2.
14.
Call. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
This is taken at the 3. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
All day, baby, all day.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jared Davis coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Zebra. Gun. Right here, 41 Mike. Yeah, let's get a sack lunch. Check. Crunch. Check, Mike.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. It's complete to Diggs. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A gain there of 21 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Check, Mike, 54. The hood. 50. Check out.
Play action now. Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 34.
Alert flare.
Gun.
Motion.
Hey, no, easy. One touch.
Now Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Corey Littleton. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Another carry now for Gurley. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
White 20.
Mike 4. You get block me. You get block me.
A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They trail 20-13 our score as they have it 1st and 10. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 23-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Get to the ball. Let's get yellow. 41's the mic. 41's the mic. Check 41. It's just me and you. It's just
Bravo.
Mike 40.
Wait, son. Lucky 48.
Let's go defense.
Wait, hot.
Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
Vikings, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Cousins now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10.
You think you gonna get this?
Listen to me.
You think you gonna get this? 58 the mic. 58.
Hey, Haywood. Run out.
I got you. Hey.
Wait, son.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that will tie things at 20 all. Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
1st down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. Now he'll escape to his left. And his pass incomplete.
Well, my initial thought was that maybe he was just trying to blindly throw this one away, and maybe he was. But he's going to get away with it because as he tried to throw it over the left sideline there's a receiver right there in the area, so no grounding call.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Gurley. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down L.A.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Mike 5-4.
A shotgun snap for Goff. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
The Vikings score 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And he's got a 1st down and then some in midfield. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead.
And that 3rd counter there gives them the lead, and it's obvious they've needed everything that he's given them today. The 3 touchdowns, that's impressive, but without him, they're not winning this game.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, the number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Goff now to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a fourth pick of the game. And now fourth down. Here's Johnny Hecker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 33. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 46-yard line.
The hot! What do you need?
54 Mike. All day, just like that. Just like that. Switch.
Hey, can!
Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Ship.
Black. The hot!
They run it again with Cook. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
You got it.
12 yards on the play. Leads to 3rd down and 1.
This will probably be the last play of the quarter.
I'm coming after you.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Mike, 54. Two. 54.
Cousins looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hey, wahoo!
Out of the gun, Goff. And that's complete to Cooks. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for L.A. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Goff now, perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They run, it's Gurley, and an alley to run. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a Rams first down on a pickup of 10.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. Now Gurley. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
Vikings, first down. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Sahan, what do you need?
Right there, 54 Mike. Here we go, here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Samson Abukum in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Check, check, check. Check, 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 check.
Striker Omaha. Hey, flipper, flipper. Right to hot.
Here's Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Nickel Roby-Coleman, a sack off the corner. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, Not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end.
4 down.
Kill.
Louis.
Now on 2nd and 13. Goff. He's going to launch this thing. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. So with a big gainer anyways, he'll go ahead and take that instead of the pass interference call.
They didn't need the penalty. It would have been different, right, if they had somehow lost some yardage somewhere, but they did not. Gained all they could, down to the spot of the foul. Nothing to be gained by taking the penalty.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Gurley. Oh, he bowls over it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Goff on 3rd down. That's complete to his tight end, Ferkser. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. To throw is gone. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Todd Gurley, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. Inside of 2 minutes remaining in a 2-point ball game. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. And he will find his man on the outside. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards the pickup there. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Inside of a minute to go now. 2 timeouts left. Still in pretty good shape.
I think they're in excellent shape here if they use the timeouts judiciously and use the sideline as an additional timeout.
He's got a first down and more inside the 30. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. 1 possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Aaron Donald in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Check 13. Check 13. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Kill. Hey, turn it up. Good route here.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
So the L.A. Rams with a victory here, and it took a big fourth quarter to do it, but bottom line, they got the job done.
Yeah, it is the bottom line, isn't it? A few anxious moments along the way, though, a few sweaty palms, not just for the team, but for their fans. As you mentioned, down going into the fourth quarter. How about the rally? How about the comeback? Getting it done on both sides of the ball, holding them when they needed to, and finding ways to get points when they had the football.
So for the Rams, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Sit back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel got a bird's eye view, hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks, I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Death comes in threes, wins come in twos, cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on, I got to put on. They wanna keep me, oh that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out. Might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess on my schedule. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a match. And plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say. I don't gotta work no day shift.